Alright folks, this is something I've been thinking about making for a while, for probably about a couple months now, so it's just time to get right to it. This is going to be my rant about Marvel Rivals, about everything involving the game, what I think about the game, the community, blah blah blah. So, first off, I guess I should get into why I started this game, or what it's been like for me playing this game, so people have an idea of the baseline of where I'm coming from. I wasn't even going to play this game. I only got into it because I had a couple buddies at work that were like, yo, we're enjoying the game, pick it up, play with us. I thought, alright, I'm always down to play a game with friends, whether it's a game I really like or not. Because, you know, sometimes there's more fun in just playing the game with the friends than the actual game itself, if you get me. So yeah, I picked it up, and, man, I was shocked by the quality of the game. When this game came out, it had everything going for it. That would be a game that I would hate. I'm not really a Marvel fan at all. I grew to hate Overwatch and what they did with the game, and all the Overwatch-like games of the past have been, all these clones have been, for lack of a better term, awful. So, when you tie those two together, it's like, franchise I'm not fond of, Marvel, mixed with a genre of game I don't like. Everything on paper was looking like this game was going to be bad, and that I was going to hate it. And boy, was I wrong. I have never been more wrong about a game, possibly in my life, to be honest. The quality's great. You can tell they put love and care into this game. They get a lot of things right in terms of the gameplay and the balance. The Overwatch gets wrong, and it's just a fun game. It's a good game. I was very wrong. I'm very much enjoying my time with it. So yeah, I started playing with friends, and naturally, with every game I play, I started playing some ranked. Pretty much in all games I play, I just enjoy ranked more than the casual experience, whether it's Call of Duty, Overwatch back in the day, even games like Uncharted, this, and obviously I play fighting games and racing games as well. But besides the point, the climb went pretty steady for me in terms of ranked. Right away I kind of got through the, for the lack of a better term, the incompetent ranks. Like your bronze, silver, and gold. Quickly got the plat. And then I wasn't playing too much. I was still kind of new to the game. And, well, still very new to the game. And it wasn't until I kind of hit plat and was just playing more with friends and quick play that I kind of, like, learned about myself as a player in this game. And learned how I can learn this game and get better at it. And then when I started to find my couple characters, it really started to click for me. Flew up to Grandmaster, and it was about that time that in my town fiber optic internet became available. So just better internet all the time means no lag spikes. You know, anytime you mess up or anything with a good connection, you know that's on you, so it makes it easier to learn, blah blah blah. And my rank continued to go up. Shot through Grandmaster into Celestial. I didn't really shoot through Celestial, but I did steadily climb through it, and at the end of Season 1.5 headed into Season 2, I was in the Eternity ranks. So, just a little background of how I came about this game and my climb. It doesn't really matter what my rank is, but maybe it just shows a little bit like, alright, this is maybe at least someone making this video knows a little bit about the game and how to play it. So, maybe that adds a little bit of credibility to what I'm saying. So, overall, if I had to sum it up, the game's good. You hear people complaining about it all the time. I think the game is good. The issue is the community, honestly. The game's balance is good. If you are good with any character, if you're a god with any character, you can walk your way to Celestial. Any character in the game. Absolutely any character in the game, no exceptions. It's all just one-line complaining. People complain about, you know, the matchmaking, and using an excuse, and I could go on for days, but I'll get to it in more detail later in the video. But yeah, in short, I think the game's great, and the issue is the community, not the game itself. Getting into details, explaining how I came to this. There's just a lot of misconceptions and honestly just straight bullshit being spread about the game. Look at the beginning of Season 2 when they added those chrono shields that you can earn and use them in lower ranks. People were straight up saying the game was pay to win. You couldn't buy them. You literally, not exaggerating, did 5 seconds of research, you would immediately know that this wasn't a pay-to-win function. You physically couldn't buy them. The amount you could get was limited, and where you could use them was limited. 5 seconds of research. People don't do that. They don't think independently. They just regurgitate the same points that they hear from a salty content creator that's having a rough day in ranked, or whoever has a lot of followers on X. They just listen to them by default without making their own conclusions about a game, or even just looking one layer to deep to see if what's being said is bullshit. And that's not the only case of that. You know, they're saying it's paying to win. They're saying that there's these matchmaking queues of like losers queue and winners queue. And every time I see content creators, or even just more heavily followed Twitter pages posting about their match history and all that, you can always look at that match history and just know immediately, is like, is this really a loser's queue? Is it the fact that you have, you know, close to 10 deaths every game, 6 deaths, 8 deaths, 10 deaths every game? Yeah, that's, you can't just look at a scoreboard and immediately be like, oh, that's what happened in a game. But I can tell you for damn sure that in the one example I can think of for sure, that if someone's playing at the Grandmaster rank and they play 18 games and go 9-9 in those 18 games, and in 0 of those games did they have less than 5 deaths, like, the reason you're not a Celestial player playing a Grandmaster. That's, you know, a really godlike Celestial or even Eternity player playing a Grandmaster, they're going to have games where they pop off. And the biggest stat to look at when someone's really popping off is they just not dying. When you go unchecked as a tank and you're always controlling the space and not overextending, you're just not dying. That's even more important than the damage and the kills. If you're a DPS that's going unchecked, just no one's killing you. If you're a support that no one's getting to, you're just not dying. And to have, like I said, every time someone complains about the matchmaking, you can just look at their stat screen right there and just immediately see, it's like, nope, the issue isn't the matchmaking. The issue is you really are the rank that you are currently at. You just got to swallow your pride and just focus on improving as a player. I tell people all the time in ranked games, you don't play to win. If you play for points and play to win, you're approaching it the wrong way. Play to get better. Because think of it this way, if you gave a Grandmaster player a gold player's account, where's that guy gonna go? He's gonna go straight to the rank he's already at, Grandmaster, right? You can use that example for any rank. Your rank is what it is. You are at that rank, and the ranked system's good. I don't know why people are complaining about it. That's another big misconception. People were saying, there's a rumor going around, it's like 50% of the population's in Grandmaster. Like, again, you do 1 ounce of research, you see that's just bullshit. There's way less people in silver than bronze, and then less in gold, less in plat. Now, I do think the numbers between, what was it, plat and diamond were close together, but then there was a drastic drop to Grandmaster, and even more drastic drop to Celestial and even Eternity. Less people are at each rank, kind of shows that the rank system's pretty good. And especially there being a correlation between the people being at higher ranks and being better at the game. Seems like the rank system's pretty good, and people are just using that in the matchmaking as an excuse. Yeah, just a lot of dumb tweets and stuff like that going on and floating around. Just these gigantic misconceptions about the game, just bad information being spread around is just part of the community, honestly, just being shit and just either making excuses for frustrating losses and not focusing on just getting good at a game that is balanced and is pretty good, all things considered. Specifically about misconceptions about the game, I think people, in terms of how you play this game and what this game really is, there's a lot of misconceptions about. For example, a lot of people look at the scoreboard all the time and think, oh, that tells the story. It doesn't. Sometimes you can point to things, but it's all in the details. It's all about what really happened. You can't just look at a scoreboard and know immediately, yep, that was the problem and why. Or, yep, this person has a couple more deaths, therefore they're the issue. Or, I did the most damage, therefore I'm not the issue. Just a bad way of looking at it. As someone that is an Eternity player, or I guess I should say was an Eternity player, technically right now in 2.5 I'm not an Eternity yet, I'm in Celestial. But that point aside, there's only one stat that I really look at that I can really tell if someone like shouldn't be at that rank or not, or if someone's having a really good game. And that's their deaths. Like I said before, when someone's going unchecked in any role, those deaths are low. Really good players playing against players they're better than, they're going to minimize those deaths because dying is the worst thing you can do in this game. You want to get better at this game in terms of just looking at your raw stats? Minimize your deaths while still being productive in the game. That's literally it. Simplify it like that. Walk your way to Grandmaster, pretty much. Another misconception is that a lot of people, since a lot of people come from Overwatch, they all think that you gotta play the meta, or what's viewed as the meta, you're gonna get washed. Now, while that is the case in a lot of seasons in Overwatch, that's not the case here. You're good at a character, how good people are at their characters are way more important than what characters are being played. Way more important. The character matchups and all that I don't even see matter really much at all until like the upper parts of Grandmaster and into Celestial, and even then, like I would rather have, let's say it's a 2-2-2 setup, and maybe it's not like the most optimal 2-2 setup, but if you got 6 people that are all maining those characters and all godlike with those characters, you know, if you're playing against other people that just play a little bit of everyone, and they just try to play what they view as the meta, you know, being really good at your character is more important than the character you're playing and what's perceived as the tier list or what the meta is. So in Overwatch, it was one of those games where you got to be, you know, decent with basically everyone. This game, I think it's way better to just be really, really good with like 1 or 2 characters for each role. And you don't even really got to do that. If you can play 2 roles and have like 2 characters in each role you're really good at, you're good to go. When I got to Eternity, I played Rocket as support, and I played Punisher and Hela as DPS. That was it. But I was damn good with those characters. And that was more important than the characters that I was playing. Like I said, you just gotta focus on yourself in terms of improving, playing smarter, being a good teammate, and minimizing your deaths. That's it. Instead of just making excuses, playing for stats, like play for the win. Focus on, like I said, just finding your characters, finding what characters you're getting good win percentages with. Figure out what kind of player you are and what characters you're good with, and just focus on those characters is such a better way to level up than like the way you would in Overwatch, which is just play a little bit of everyone and always play what the meta is. The game's different. Every game's different. You gotta treat every game different. And just focus on yourself and improving yourself as a player. Just play as a team. Don't stagger, get good with a couple characters, and you're good to go to just walk straight through at least the upper levels of Grandmaster, if not even getting to Celestial, just on that alone. And like I said, the rank system's good. The rank, I hate to give you the rough truth, but your rank is what your rank is. There is nobody sitting at Platinum, with the exception of like, okay, maybe you've only played 10 games in the season, so you're physically not playing the game, but if you're actually on putting games in rank, your rank is what your rank is. There is no people that, you know, you could give me any group of people in Platinum and Diamond that think, oh, it's because of the matchmaking, it's because of my teammates that I'm not a Grandmaster or Celestial. And then just give me 6 random Grandmasters and Celestials, and they will fucking walk through those Diamonds and Platinums every day of the week. You can carry that analogy over to basically any rank. You know, your rank is what your rank is. Focus on improving as a player. You know, people are just so egotistical and looking for excuses all the time, and it just comes back to my main point that the issue isn't the game. The game's pretty balanced. You can play any character. And even in the high ranks, I see it all the time. I see godlike players with every character. Just focus on being a good teammate and, yeah, being good at your character. I don't know what else really to add. You know, the game's balanced, all things considered. Every character can win. The rank system's good. The issue is the community. And the issue is us. We just gotta focus on not being degenerate, toxic pieces of shit, and just come in with a good mindset. Take everything one team fight at a time. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. That's the way the game goes. But this game does enable you, especially compared to Overwatch, because there's, like I said, the game's better balanced, and there's such a lack of get out of jail free card abilities, and abilities generally have longer cooldowns compared to Overwatch. That single characters, single individuals can pop off way more in this game and way more consistently. So just focusing on improving yourself as a player is the way you gotta go. This wasn't a video made to shit on the community. This was a video made to just give my thoughts on it, give a different viewpoint of the game, and if anything, motivate people to say, you know what, maybe it's not the game, it's me. Let's try to get ourselves in a good mindset instead of blaming each other and being assholes. Just focus on getting better and improving at the game because that's the kind of mindset that's going to help you improve and enjoy your time a lot more.